Hey small group leaders, welcome to week 7 of Outlive Your Life, and this is a week we're calling Celebration Week, and we're really excited about it. And I tell you, just coming off this past Sunday and seeing the response that we had as a church, it's just been really exciting for me. And this week I've invited Preston Crow, who is part of our life care ministry team here at Pine Lake, to kind of talk to us a little bit about a great resource we have for small groups and for people in our church. And guys, we know that with everybody who's making commitments this past Sunday and the people who are still praying through those commitments, Preston, we know that there's some people that honestly are still struggling with that. You know, there's still some people that are kind of talking through with their spouses about, man, what does this look like for us? And maybe there's some things in their life that maybe could be getting in the way of them making that next commitment with God. And so, Preston, talk to us about this resource that we have called Life Coaches. Yeah, what is a life coach, and let's just start there. What is a life coach?
Sure. Well, Lee, most people are familiar with coaching. Somewhere along the way they've played sports or whatever, they've had a coach. And, a coach is someone who comes alongside of them and they watch them, they get to know what they need to improve in, they kind of get an idea for what they need to work on, maybe what drills they need to do or exercises, that sort of thing. But the goal is to help them to get better at whatever it is that they're doing. And really life coaching is a lot like that. It's designed to help someone to move forward in life, whether that's to reach a goal that they've recently decided they want to go for, or maybe there's something that they've tried to do in the past and they've always just kind of gotten stuck, and they've tried it on their own, and now they really need someone to enter in and maybe give an outside perspective, maybe just guide them a little bit, throw out some new ideas, that sort of thing. So a life coach, first and foremost, is a good listener to help get to know the person they're working with and get to know what their needs are and what they're going for. And then there's someone who's been trained to come alongside of them and to help them to work toward those goals.
Right. Well, that's great. So let's assume, and we know that there are people in some of our small groups right now that are needing someone to kind of come alongside them and coach them a little bit more. What would that process look like for them if they called and said, we want to get connected?
Yeah,
what would that look like?
Well, it's easy to get connected. They can do that through the life care office. Just call and say that they would like to speak to a life coach, and we will get them partnered with someone. Once they are partnered, they'll meet with what's called a life coach advocate, and that advocate is there just to have a first-time meeting, to hear their story, and really to try to determine, is life coaching the best avenue for this person, or do we have some other ministry that might be a better fit for them? And if they do decide that life coaching is a good avenue, then they will partner that person with a life coach, and they'll meet with that life coach generally on a weekly basis, maybe 4 weeks up to possibly 10 weeks. And each time they meet with a coach, they will go over kind of where they are and where they're trying to get to. They will look at what the plan needs to be to get from here to there, and the coach will help them to clarify and really kind of hone in and pinpoint what that needs to look like. But they'll also address what are the obstacles that you're likely to face. A lot of people know ahead of time what things tend to short-circuit their processes, and they know kind of their own personality and such. So a life coach will help them to really kind of look ahead and say, based on these things, what do we need to be addressing on the front end? And then they'll just kind of guide them through that process and be a sounding board in many ways, but watch them, again, much like a coach would do, and just help them through that.
Yeah, and it sounds like I need a life coach. I mean, that's great. That's great.
Well, and that's a good point. A lot of people wonder who could use a life coach. What's it for?
Right.
And really, a life coach is for anyone who is fairly healthy and kind of life is pretty good overall, but maybe they've got 1 or 2 areas where they're either stuck or they're not quite sure how to move forward. Right now in Outlive Your Life, we know there's some people out there who sense God is calling them to something, God's leading them to something. They're on board, their heart's ready, and they desire to move forward. They may just be kind of stuck with, how do I do that? Or is there someone that can help me to walk that out? And that's really what a life coach is for. It's not so much for the person who's trying to work through maybe healing wounds from the past, or just things that from the past that aren't quite right that they need to work through. We do have other ministries that will help people through that. But life coaching really is more for the person who's in a pretty good place, but they just need some help going forward.
Yeah, just a little additional guidance maybe to get around a couple of obstacles. That sounds great, Preston. I mean, guys, this is a great resource, and I really want to encourage us as a small group as we begin to meet, especially over the next couple of weeks, because I know that there are going to be a lot of people in your groups. I've heard the conversations with people in our church say, I'm almost there. I just need, you know, a little bit extra time to pray through some things. I got some things in my life that are going on right now, and this is a tremendous resource that we can offer for our small groups. And so, guys, I wanted you to hear from Preston just so you can know, as you're talking with your small group members, if you run into people, and you will, who are exactly where we're describing right now, life coaching is a great resource for them, and we could get them plugged in. So the last question, Preston, if someone's watching right now and they're saying, hey, I know someone who needs a life coach, what do they need to do? What's the next step? Do they call here?
Well, ideally, it's always best for the person who needs that coach to be the one to reach out, and so it would simply be connecting that person to our ministry here. 829-4513 is the best way. They'll get Jennifer Bassett, our life care assistant, and she's very familiar with this process. What she will do is she will set up an appointment for them to meet with that life coach advocate. It's usually done on a Tuesday night, but we can work around that if we need to. And they'll sit down and meet with that advocate, and that will start the process.
Great. Preston, thanks so much for being here. We really
Thanks
appreciate it. Hey guys, this week as you roll into Celebration Sunday, just know it's going to be a great, great day. And we really want to encourage you, small group leaders, to really kind of get creative with how you spend your time this coming week around Celebration Sunday, and celebrate with your group. It's a time to celebrate not just what God has done, but what God is going to do over the next 24 months in the life of our church. And one of the things that I think will be great is you do meet with your groups this week, go ahead and share, just be authentic about some of your concerns, some of your own fears as you commit for the next 24 months of your life around your grow, go, and give. And just share authentically with your group, because a lot of times that can be helpful for other people just to kind of hear, hey, I'm not the only one struggling with this. But as you do, and if you do talk to a couple people that are still struggling, know life coaching's here and it's available for you, okay? Guys, y'all have a great week. We're excited about what God's doing, and we'll talk to you very soon. Take care.